I'm Anil Kumar. Welcome to my series on lines. In this video, I'll share with you 25 test questions. 20 of them are multiple choice, and then we have thinking and communication questions. First, I'd like you to go through these questions, and then we'll answer them one by one. First three questions are based on points on the coordinate plane. Then these three questions are related to distance between the points. Next two questions are to find the area between the line and the axis. It could be horizontal axis or the vertical axis. Then we have questions relating to the slope of the line when its equation is given. And then we'll consider about the intercepts of the given lines. And then we'll try to find the equation of lines for given conditions. So these are slightly difficult conditions to work with to find the equation of lines. And then we have communication and thinking questions. So here we are going to find the points on a triangle which have integer coordinates. Question number 23 is to find the fourth vertex of a parallelogram. Question number 24 is regarding the right bisector of a line segment. And the last question is to find some more points on a line. We'll go through these solutions. You can anytime pause the video, answer these questions. Question number 1 is, which of the following coordinate is in the third quadrant? So third quadrant means what? In our plane, we write quadrants from this side. So this is our quadrant number 1, this is 2, this is quadrant 3, and that is quadrant 4. So when we are saying in third quadrant, that means in this quadrant. Now in this quadrant, both x and y values are negative, and therefore C is the right option, right? So here any point will have negative x value and negative y value. Question number 2. Image of the point minus 2, 3 reflected on y-axis is what? So let's try to understand this. We have a point here which is minus 2, 3. So minus on this side, 3 on this side, let's say somewhere here is our point C. Image of the point C reflected on y-axis. So in any plane, we always write y-axis as the vertical axis. This is the x-axis. So when you reflect it on the y-axis, you will see right there. So what really happens is y value remains same, right? So the y value remains same, but the x value will change the sign. So if we have a point here which is x, y, it will become minus of the x value, and y value will remain same. So this sign will change, right? So we'll have a point minus 2 will become plus 2, but the y value will remain same, which is 3. So the answer is 2, 3, which is option D for us. Okay. Question 3 is, image of a point C, which is minus 2, 3, rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. So if I have a point minus 2, 3, that means we're talking about a point here, right? So this is the point we're talking about. It is being rotated counterclockwise 90 degrees. That means it is going in this direction, correct? So when it is rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise, this point will appear here. Now at this point, what really happens is that the quadrants, they coordinates swap, right? So here it was minus 2, 3. So when you write on this side, then it becomes 3 becomes the x coordinate, right, and the sign changes, and the y value becomes minus 2, right? So minus 3 minus 2 will be our answer, which is option A. Is that clear to you? So that is how we are going to answer this. Now let's look into distance related questions. The very first one is find the distance of this point from the origin. So what we are trying to say here is that we have a point 3, 4, right, somewhere there, and we need to find the distance from origin O, right? This is the point P, which is 3, 4. That really means 3 is the x coordinate, 4 is the y. You can use Pythagorean theorem, right? So we get this distance OP as equal to square root of 3 square plus 4 square, which is 9 plus 16 square root, or square root of 25, which you get as 5. Clear? So option C is the right option. If you know Pythagorean theorem, it is very easy, right? 5 is distance between the points, these 2 points. Now the distance formula is distance is equal to square root of, this was origin 0, 0, right? So we use direct value. It is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, square root, correct? So to find the value, we'll do 7 minus 2 whole square plus 15 minus 3 whole square, correct? 7 minus 2 is 5. We have 5 square plus 12 square, square root. So that gives you 13 as your answer, right? So this is also a right angle triangle. 25 plus 144, 169. That gives you 13. So option B is the right option. 6. The distance of this point from x-axis. Now that is very simple, a slightly tricky question. So we have a point minus 4, 3. So minus 4, 3. Let's say this is our point, which is minus 4 and 3, right? So from the x-axis, how much is the distance? So this is the x-axis. So that is the distance, correct? Which is same as 3. So the answer is 3, right? So that y value is the distance from x-axis. Kind of important to remember, right? Make sense? Then question number 7 is area between the line segment from origin to point P and the x-axis. Okay, so what we have here is we have a point here P, which is 2 minus 4. So let's say this is 1, this is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the point P. So we can draw this line OP, right? So we have this O, and that is the point P. The question here is to find area between the line segment from origin to P and the x-axis. So we want to find this area, correct? So that is basically a right triangle. This will be a right triangle. Coordinates of point are given to us as 2 minus 4. That means this side is 2, this side is 4, right? So the area will be equal to half of base, which is, let's write base times height, right? Area is always positive, never negative, right? So it is half of base is 2 and height is 4, correct? So that gives us the value of 4. Option C is the right option. 8. Area between the line segment from 2, 4 to 6, 6 and the x-axis. So this time, let's work, we'll make a coordinate like this. From 2, 4 to 6, 6, let's say we have 2, 4 and 6, 6. Let's say that is the segment where the coordinates are, this is A, this is B. Now the area is how much? Let's look into the area this time. So when you go like this, the whole thing is an area of this. This is what we are interested in. So we have a trapezoid, right? So we have trapezoid. So the quadrants A is 2, 4. So this height is 4 as far as 6 is the height for B, right? So that means this side is 4 units, this side is 6 units. Distance between the two is x values 2 and 6, right? This is 2, this is 6. So this distance 6 minus 2, which is 4, correct? So I hope you're getting it, right? So area of a trapezoid is basically equal to sum of these two sides. Let's write half of A plus B times height. So in this case, it is half of 4 plus 6 times distance between them, which is 4, correct? So that gives us 10, 40 times divided by 2 is 20, correct? So we get option D as the right option. Well, you could also do like this. You could combine two, triangle and rectangle. 4 times 4 is 16, and then half base into height, add 4 to it. So this is 16, this is 4, you get 20. Does it make sense? So that is how you could do it. Now we have here question number 9, which is slope of the line y equals to 5 minus 2x is what? So slope y equals to mx plus b. So m is the slope, right? So m is the slope. In this case, the equation is basically y equals to minus 2x plus 5. So the slope is minus 2. So option D is the right option. Question number 10. Slope of the line y equals to 2 is what? Now I like you to sketch this line y equals to 2 to find the slope. Y equals to 2 is a horizontal line where every point the y value is 2, right? So every point y value is 2. So horizontal line slope is 0. Is that clear to you, right? So here you can think like this. Y equals to mx plus y-intercept of 2. So m is 0 here, right? So 0 plus 2. Perfect. 11. Slope of the line 6x minus 3y equals to 0. So let's rearrange. So we get 3y equals to 6x. Y is equals to 6 over 3x. That gives us y equals to 2x. So the slope is 2. Option C is the right option. Example 12 is slope of the line x plus 2 equals to 0 is what? Now x plus 2 really means x equals to minus 2. Now x equals to minus 2 is a vertical line where the x value is always minus 2, right? So this line is x equals to minus 2. The slope is undefined for a vertical line. So I hope that is absolutely clear, right? 13. Y-intercept of line 6x minus 3y equals to 24 is what? So y-intercept means x value is equal to 0, right? So if I substitute x equals to 0, I get 0 minus 3y equals to 24, and y equals to 24 divided by minus 3. So that gives us minus 8. Option A is correct. X-intercept of this line is what? X-intercept means what? X-intercept means that y equals to 0. Substitute 0 here. So we get 0 equals to minus 2x plus 6. 2x equals to 6. X equals to 6 by 2, which is 3. So option A is the correct option. Question 15 is sum of x-intercept and y-intercept for the line x plus 2y equals to k is what? Well, for x-intercept, we'll put y equals to 0, right? So when you put y equals to 0, you get what? You get x equals to k. But when you put x equals to 0, in that case, we get 2y equals to k, or y equals to half k, correct? We want the sum of these two, right? So these are the intercepts. So k plus half k is your answer, which is equal to 1.5k or 1.5k. So B is the right option. Is that clear to you, right? Now, question number 16. Equation of line through a point and origin. So that means it's a direct variation. Equation of a line which goes through origin and a point 2, 3, right? So that is the slope is y value. So this point is 2, 3. So slope of this line is 3 over 2. So we can write this line as y equals to 3 over 2x, which can be rearranged as 2y equals to 3x, or we could write this as 3x minus 2y equals to 0, which is option B for us. Clear? Question 17. Equation of line through these 2 points. So when 2 points are given, we have to first find the slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That gives us 2 minus 3 divided by minus 3 minus 2, which is minus 1 over minus 5, or we can write this as 1 over 5, correct? So slope is 1 over 5, and we can use one of these points to find the equation. So we can write this as y equals to, or you could write y minus y1. Choose any one point, right? Correct? So we can write this as y minus y1, or you can write slope y equals to 1 over 5x plus b. Now use the point 2 or 3, for example. So when I write 2 for x, 3 for y, we get 3 equals to 1 over 5 times 2 plus b. So from here we can find what b is, correct? So b is equal to 3 minus 2 over 5, which is 15 minus 2. That gives us 13 over 5. So that becomes the value of b. Therefore, we get the equation as y equals to 1 over 5x plus 13 over 5, correct? So now we can write down the equation in the form given to us. Multiplying by 5, we get 5y equals to x plus 13. Rearranging, we get x minus 5y equals to minus, so we bring this here and take it on this side, minus 13. So that is option B is the right option, correct? So you have to find first the slope and then y-intercept to get the equation. Question 18. Equation of the vertical line through this point. So if I have a vertical line going through a point, which is in this case 4 minus 5. So 4 minus 5, let's say that is the point. Vertical line will have always the same x value. So we have to look for x equals to 4 as our answer. So in this is the equation, which is x equals to 4, correct? So that becomes the right option. Do you see that part? So that is how we are going to solve it. Now, question number 19. Equation of line perpendicular to the given line is what? So whenever you are looking for a perpendicular line, then you can actually swap x and y positions and change the sign. So we are looking for 3x plus 2y equals to some constant. That is what we are looking for. So 3x plus 2y equals to, it could be 0 also. So that is this option. Is that clear to you? The alternate method, of course, is you can find the slope of this. So for this line, which is, you could rewrite this as 3y, taking it on this side, equals to 2x minus 6, y equals to 2 over 3x minus 6. So the slope here is 2 over 3. For the perpendicular line, we are looking for a slope of minus 3 over 2. So let's look into these equations. So if you take this on the right side, it becomes minus 3, right? So if you are working on this equation, we get 2y equals to minus 3x, or y equals to minus 3 over 2x. So we get that slope. Perfect. Question 20 is, equation of line parallel to this with same x-intercept as y equals to x minus 3. So just as we had this concept here, for parallel lines, we have the similar type of equation, right? It is 2x minus y equals to some constant, k. How do we find k? Using the same x-intercept, right? So let's find the x-intercept here. X-intercept here will be, if I write y equals to 0, So for y equals to 0 gives us x equals to 3. So the point is 0, 3, right? So there is a point which is 3, 0. 3 is the x-intercept. Let's put this point here and find the value of k. So 3 for x, we get 2 times 3 minus 0 equals to 6, and that is the value of k. So we get the equation as 2x minus y equals to 6. So do we have something like this? Well, 2x minus y, if we rearrange d, we'll get 2x minus y equals to 6. Does it make sense to you? So you may have to rearrange and check your answers. Slightly tricky. Good. Line y equals to 2x plus 1 is reflected on y-axis. Find the equation of this reflected line. So what we have here is something like this. 2x plus 1 means from 1 slope of 2. So line which is going like this. Correct? So that is the line where this point is 1. Now since slope is 2, we can get another point which will be 1 more than this will be 1. This is 0, 1, right? So the rise is 2. So add 2 to this, you get 1, 3 as a point, second point here, correct? This point is 0, 1. So when slope is 2, that means rise is 2, run is 1. So add 2 to y value, 1 to x value. Now it says line y is reflected on y-axis. That means this point will be reflected here, right? So we get the line which will be kind of like this. They will share the same y-intercept. However, the reflected point will now be minus 1, 3, correct? Do you see that idea, right? Now we can actually find the equation if you are not very sure of these answers. The slope will now be equal to, so the 2 points are, so this point is, let's write this as 0, 1, it'll be better, right? So 3 minus 1 over x value changes minus 1, 0. So which is minus 1, 0. So the slope is 2 minus 1 or minus 2. So the equation should be y equals to minus 2x, y-intercept is 1 plus 1, correct? So we get 3 minus 1, right, which is 2, and then minus 1, 0, which is minus 1. So we have a negative 2 slope here. Since the slope is negative 2, we do get y equals to minus 2x plus 1. So we have y equals to minus 2x plus 1. Option A is the right option, correct? So that is how we are going to solve this particular question. Now let's look into question 22. Find the number of points on the perimeter of the triangle formed by the vertices A is 3, 2, B is 13, 22, and C is 18, 7, whose coordinates have integer values. Means, like the coordinates value which we are expecting, x and y, these are whole numbers, could be positive or negative, integer values, right? So let's try to understand this. So we are given 3 points and all of them are positive, so we are working in quadrant 1 basically. So I'm sketching a bigger diagram here. So one of the points is 3, 2. Let's say we have 3, 2, a point here. Then we have 13, 22. So if we go 3 somewhere here and then 22, maybe, let me just draw here a point. So that is 13, 22, 18, 7. So a bit here and slightly down. Okay. So we have 3 points here, which are A, 3, 2. Then we have B, which is 13, 22. And we have C, which is 18, 7. Now this is a difficult question. We need to find the points on the perimeter of the triangle. So let me join AC also. So on the perimeter of this triangle, which have integer values. Okay. Now as you can see here, points are A, B. So let's see the equation of AB, or so as far as slope of AB is concerned, it is 22 minus 2 divided by a change in x value, 13 minus 3, right? Which is 20 over 10 or 2. So it is increasing by 2 as we move to the right. So that means 3, 2. The next point, when I take the value as 4 for the x value, the y value will increase by 2. So 4, and it will become 2 plus 2, 4. Do you see that? Then if I change it to 5, the y value will increase by 2. So it becomes 5, 6. Do you see that? The equation of this line you can also find from here will be y equals to 2x. Now we know the point 3, 2. I'm just showing you alternate ways of doing it, right? So 3 is the x value. So if I write 3 here, so it becomes so if I write 3 here, so 3 times 2 is 6. And how do I get 2? Well, I get 2 if I take away 4, correct? So minus 4. So that is how I could get equation of this line. Does it make sense? So you could check the value. If I do 13 times 2, we get 26. Minus 4 is 22, right? So it works, correct? Now, so what you see here is that for every increase in x value, we get integer value for y also, since the slope is a whole number. Perfect. So that means from here to here on this, how many points do we have? 3 to 13, right? All the points. So all the points with x values of 3, 4, 5 till 13, right? All these are integer points. Now, let's look into this side, which is BC. Slope of BC is what? Slope of BC, if it is also an integer, then all the points will lying on this line segment will have integer values. So slope is 22 minus 7 over change in x value, 13 minus 18. So 22 minus 7 is 15 and 13 minus 18 is 5. It is minus 3. It's going downwards. This is minus 5. So it is minus 3. So again it is integer values. That means for all these x values from 13 to 18, we will have points on the periphery of this triangle. So we can continue this pattern till 18. Do you see that? Now let's look into the slope of AC. So slope of AC is what? It is 7 minus 2 divided by 18 minus 3. 7 minus 2 is 5 and 18 minus 3 is 15. Correct? So what we have here is 7 minus 2 is 5 and then 18 minus 3 is 15. So we have a slope of 1/3. So that means that to get the integer values, we have to increase x 3 times. So what I'm trying to say is, let's write down the equation of this line, right? Which is a to c. Now if I write a to c as my equation of the line, slope is 1 over 3. So we get y equals to 1 over 3x plus b. Let's put 3, 2 here. So 2 equals to 1 over 3 times 3 plus b. So that cancels. So we get 2 equals to 1 plus b. And that gives you the value of b as equal to 1. So equation of this line is y equals to 1/3 of x plus 1, correct? Now, only values of x which are multiples of 3 will lie on this line. You get the idea? Only values which are multiples of 3. So we have value 3 already, which has been counted. Next will be 6, which will have integer value, right? And then we'll have 9, and then we'll have 12, and then we'll have 15. 18 has already been counted. Is it okay? We have counted it. So we have all these points plus 1, 2, 3, 4 points, plus 4 points, correct? So how many of these are there? So from 3 to 18, right? So 18 minus 3 is 15 plus 4. Plus 4, right? So those are, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So because both are included, we'll add 1 also. 16 plus 4, which is 20. So the answer is 20. Well, let me write this option here. Let me add option E. The answer is 20. Right? So I missed that correct option. There's a typing error here. Okay, so that becomes the number of points on the periphery of this particular triangle. So I hope this concept is clear to you. Slightly difficult question at this stage. Hope you find it interesting and useful. Okay, let's move on and take the next question now. Question number 23. ABCD is a parallelogram with vertices A 3, 2, B is 13, 22, C is 18, 7. Find the fourth vertex D and B is determine the equation of the diagonal BD. Now this is another very interesting question. I'll teach you a very simple method. So this is kind of very important. Here is a strategy. Normally you're going to find slope of the line and then work out the intersects of the line. That'll be too lengthy. So we are given a parallelogram. Let me just sketch one here, right? We are not bothering about the perfect orientation, but we'll just make a parallelogram. So here we have a parallelogram. Let's say this is A, which is 3, 2, right? Okay. This is B, which is 13, 22. And this is C, which is 18, 7, right? So we have these parallel sides in a parallelogram, and they're also equal. So if you notice, if I have to go from B to C, what is the change? The same should be from A to D, right? What I'm trying to say here is that when I move from B, which is 1322, to C, which is 18.7, what is the change? What is the change? Change in x value, right? So what is change means what is delta x and what is delta y? That is the change we are looking for. So the change is from B to this, let's write down, you're adding 5 to x value, right? And here you are taking away how much? 15, correct? So that is the change. Do you see that? So same change should be there when you move from A to D. So point A basically is 3, 2, right? So if I have to go to D, how should I go? I should add 5 to the x value and take away 15 from the y value. So if I add 5, I get 8 here. When I take away 15 from 2, I get minus 13. Do you see that? So I get the coordinates as 8 minus 13. So that is the answer. Is that clear to you? So we'll work with the change to get this answer. You could adopt your standard methods also. So that is how we are going to do part A. Now, determine the equation of the diagonal BD. So that's the second part we'll do now. So that means equation of a line through 2 points. So let's find equation of BD, right? So that line. So in this case, the slope M is equal to y2 minus y1. So let's do 22 minus 13. So we'll add this up. And here is 13 minus 8, right? So let's use calculator now. So we have 22 plus 13, which is 35, divided by 13 minus 8, which is 5. So that gives you 7. So that is the slope. Now, we can write the equation as y minus y value of 22 equals to the slope M times x minus x value of 13, correct? So we have used this formula, which is y minus y1 equals to M times x minus x1, correct? So that formula we have used to write down the equation of the line. Now let's simplify this. So we have y minus 22 equals to 7x minus 7 times 3, 21, 91. So we can bring them all together, or you can write this as y equals to 7x minus 91 plus 22, correct? So let's do 22 minus 91, which is minus 69. So we get y equals to 7x minus 69 as our equation. Is that clear to you? So that is how we can get equation of BD. Perfect. Let's move on and take the next question now. Question 24 is, the line segment CD is the right bisector of the segment joining A 1, 2 and B minus 3, 8. Write the equation of the segment CD. Okay, so we have a line here. Let's say AB is our line. Let me just draw here AB. And we have line segment CD, which is right bisector. Means it goes through the center, correct? Something like this. So what we are given here is, let's say this is the point A, which is 1, 2. And this is the point B, which is minus 3, 8. And this is CD. Okay. So important thing is that this is the right bisector, means these 2 points are same distance. So we have a midpoint here, correct? We need to write the equation of the segment CD. So first step is to find the midpoint, right? So let's find midpoint of AB, correct? So that is M for us. So we'll say M is average value. So we have minus 3 plus 1 divided by 2. Y value is 8 plus 2 divided by 2, right? So the mid formula is basically x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2, correct? So we apply this formula to find the midpoint, which is minus 2 divided by 2 is minus 1, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we get this point as minus 1, 5. Now let's find slope of AB, right? So slope AB is basically equal to y2 minus y1. Let's use 8 minus 2 divided by minus 3 minus 1. So 8 minus 2 is 6, minus 3 minus 2 is minus 4. We get minus 3 over 2. So now perpendicular is CD, right? So the slope of CD should be negative reciprocal. So it is 2 over 3, correct? Now we know we have a point M, which is minus 1, 5. So now we can write equation of CD. So we have the slope. We'll use the line y minus y1 equals to slope M times x minus x1, correct? So that is the equation which we are going to use. So what we get here is y minus y value is 5 equals to slope, which is 2 over 3 times x minus minus 1 makes it plus. Now this equation is very good. You can just cross multiply. So 3 times y minus 5 equals to 2 times x plus 1. So we get 3y minus 15 equals to 2x plus 2. Bring them together. So we have 0 equals to 2x minus 3y plus 2 plus 15. So we get 0 equals to 2x minus 3y plus 17. Correct? So that becomes the equation of CD. Perfect. So that is the standard form of writing the equation. So we get the equation as 2x minus 3y plus 17 equals to 0. Is that clear? So we are almost at the end. The last question now is question number 25. A line with slope of 2 over 3 passes through the point minus 5, 3. Find 3 other points on this line. So that's a very good question. So what we have is, let's say we have a point here which is 2 over 2, 3, right? So the point here is minus 5, 3. So this point here is minus 5, 3. Correct. We are given slope m equals to 2 over 3 from this point. Slope basically means what? Let's try to understand this, right? So slope equals to 2 over 3. That means rise over run is 2 over 3. Correct? So from this point we could go, this is rise and run. So first value is x value. Correct? So from here we could go 3 units, right, and 2 up. Do you see that? So we'll go 3, right? So we'll add 3 to x value and 2 to y value to get the next point. Do you get the idea, right? So when you do that, minus 5 plus 3 is minus 2, so we get minus 2, and 3 plus 2 is 5, so we get the next point. Do you see that part? You could repeat this process. Add 2 to this. So when you add 3 to this, right, and then go up 2 places, you reach the next point. So adding 3 to minus 2 will give us plus 1, and 2 to 5 will give us 7. So likewise you could go up. Well, you could also think about this as minus 2 over minus 3. That means you could actually come down, right? You could, y value changes by 2. So come down by 2, let's say 1, 2, and then go left by 3. So 1, 2, 3. So we get another point here. So this point will take away this time, right? So minus 5 minus 3 will be minus 8, and 3 minus 2 will be 1. So minus 8, 1 could be the next point. So we have our answer here. The points could be minus 8, 1, minus 2, 5, and 1, 7. So without even using any equation, with simple logic, we are in a position to get the coordinates of the points. Now this is extremely good method to quickly get to the answer. I hope you understood all the concepts and you appreciate the selection of questions to master this topic. So this first set of 25 questions will help you review and understand most of the stuff which you have learned about the lines. Feel free to share your experience. If you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for watching and all the best.